Hey, you guys, it's Miss Alexander, and today we're taking on another Engage New York. We're doing Module 5, Lesson 12. We're doing the second day. I'm making sure you have enough time to take your time to be able to learn and process the steps to find the common denominator. So here we're going to compare two fractions with different numerators and different denominators by creating a common denominator. That's really important. Again, we're going to review what is a fraction. Remember, it's from one or more parts of a whole that divide into equal parts. Numerator is the top number, and this describes how many pieces of the whole you have. And the denominator is the bottom number of the fraction that describes how many pieces make the whole. Here are the steps you need to remember. You're going to find a common denominator. In order to do that, you're going to skip count by the denominators, so whatever they are, till you find a common multiple. So you're looking for the same number within your denominators. Once you get that, you're going to convert to the common denominator by multiplying the original fraction by a value of one whole, like 2 over 2, 3 over 3, or 5 over 5. We always want to make sure when we're converting, we're not changing the amount, we're changing how many pieces. So it looks the exact same, it's just we have more pieces. So let's go look at an example. So we did this example just yesterday. So I'm just going to kind of go through it 2/3 and 7/8. We did 3 and we ended up having to go more than 5 out to see that the common multiple was 24. We did 2/3 times 8 over 8 because we know that 3 times 8 is 24. What you do the bottom, you do the top. And then here, 8, we have 7/8 times some number equals some number of 24. And we saw that 8 times 3, which you do the bottom, you do the top. And 7 times 3 is 21. And we saw that 21/24 is larger than 16/24. So we can say 2/3 is larger than 2/3 is less than 7/8. Let's keep going. This is another one we did yesterday. Let's quick jump into the next one. Here's the teacher. So you're going to watch. We have 1/2 and 6/8. Which one is bigger? So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to do 2. And here I'm going to do 8. So right here I'm going to count by 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I went 5 numbers out, but I count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Or as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every other one I had right. Now I'm going to count by 8s. I'm going to start off with 8. Oh, look at that. There's an 8 there. So right here, I'm going to stop. My common multiple is 8. I don't have to go any further. So right over here, I'm going to go ahead and take these, and I'm going to write 8. And once I do that, I see that I have an 8 already. So I'm just going to move this 6/8 over because I don't have to change it. But I do need to change this 1/2. So I'm going to go 1/2. I'm going to multiply it by some fraction. Remember, this fraction has to equal one whole equals some number over 8. Remember, 8 is my common denominator, so I need an 8 at the bottom. 2 times what number is 8? If you don't know, just count 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4, so I'm going to put 4 here. Remember, when I do the bottom, I do the top. If I have 4 over 4, this makes one whole, you guys. Now I'm going to do 1 times 4. Is 4. Good job. So now I'm going to come right up here. I'm going to write a 4. What's bigger, 4/8 or 6/8? Great job, you guys. It is 6/8. So it looks like right here, 1/2 is smaller than 6/8. Let's go to one more example. We have 3/4 and 3/5. Which is bigger? So I'm going to take the 4 and the 5. This is the numbers I'm looking at. So I'm going to go 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. Remember, I always go 5 numbers out. If I need to add, I can. So I'm going to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. Look at that. I can stop right there because they both have a 20. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this 20. This is telling me, look, this is my common multiple. It's the least common multiple even. So I'm going to come right up here and I'm going to write 20 on both of these because this is our common denominator. Okay, so I'm going to come step 2. I'm going to write 3/4. I'm going to multiply by some fraction, which equals a whole number, which equals some number over 20. So now I'm going to look at this 4. 4 times what number gave me 20? If you're not too sure, count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to put the 5 in the denominator. And remember what I do in the denominator, I do in the numerator. So I'm going to write a 5. Remember, 5 over 5 would give us our whole number, 1. So now I'm going to do 3 times 5. Yes, it is 15. So I'm going to come right up here. I'm going to write my 15. One less step. Now I'm going to come over, and now I'm going to do 3/5. I'm going to multiply it some fraction, which equals a whole 1. And it's going to equal some number over 20, because that's our common denominator. So 5 times what number gives me 20? If you're not too sure, count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I put 4 in my denominator. And when I do the denominator, I do the numerator so that I have my whole 1. And then I do 3 times 4. What's 3 times 4, you guys? Yes, it is 12. So right up here, I'm going to write 12. And I need to figure out what's bigger, 15 over 20 or 12 over 20. Yes, 15 over 20 is bigger, which means 3/4 is bigger than 3/5. Oh, there we go. As you're doing this, take your time. Remember, you're doing repeated counting when you're going to find the multiples. And if it's not in the first 5, keep adding until you find that least common multiple. As you're doing this, have fun. Remember to smile, giggle, and wiggle, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Have a good day. Bye.